Hello, everybody. Back again to give you some updates on what's going on around Ramrod. Well, I laid the framework of what the park is and what we're all about. It's just that now I got to give you where the problems are and why the people here are very upset and why I am even doing this. As you know, I think I stated to you before, we were a 55 and over park from 1989 to 2000, I think 17. And at that time is when all the problems started in this park. They got some paperwork or some IRS stuff that this 5-member board looked at, and it threatened to do our taxes and all this, which had happened in the past, and we worked it out and kept our 55 and over. Well, they threatened us. I think they said they threatened us because they don't tell us the whole story. So they had to go 60 and over instead of low to moderate, just moderate income, because they blamed it on us, the people, that we lied on the amount of money we made in here. That was told to me by the CFO at the time. So there's the first start of it. First lie we ran into. Okay, so let's move forward in how this went down. We had a CEO back in 2017 who took this stuff like it was his, not the park's, always using the letter the word I, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. And he was a good friend of mine at the time, but his intentions were awful and he wouldn't change it. He became no friend of mine. Okay, so how these board members got on here, they're not elected. They pick each other. And what I mean is, if one quits, the other 4 or 5, or whatever they got on the board at the time, go out and recruit somebody out of the neighborhood. So that's what I want to get into today, and into some of the complaints. I want to get into the board members that we have. So remember, I told you we have 202 coaches. That means we have a lot of people. Okay, at least 202, right? Okay, so the current CEO, who we have now, she hadn't lived in this place very long, a couple of years, and she got appointed by the previous CEO, who allegedly quit because he sexually harassed a temporary girl in the office. Okay, so that's the start of this mess. Okay, and she replaced the guy that they threw off, who was my friend, who I said was the one in 2017. They threw him off and brought his buddy in. He was horrible. So then he got caught doing this, allegedly doing this crap. And so they appointed this lady. And it's been, let me give you the rest of the makeup of this, okay? Second one we have is, which one do I want to start with? Okay, the second one is my neighbor. He was on there back in the day, before the 2017, and he got run off or quit because he never went to the meetings. So he didn't care. Okay, that's one down. The third member is a convicted felon. Well, in our rules says you can't have convicted felons. They overlooked that rule. Remember, we play by the rules of the HOA because they run the park and they don't have to. So there's a lot more examples of this. So the fourth member in here lives with a relative in here, doesn't own anything in here, nothing, okay? He was appointed by them to be a yes vote because I'll get to what he went after me and he lost, but I'll get into that a little bit here. The fifth member is a lady that wasn't even here the required time limit of a year. But they recruited her because she said, yeah, what they were doing. So back to the guy that in 2017 that started this mess. They went and recruited him to get back on the board. The guy they threw off. Now, here's the deal with him. And I'm going to put names of these in time. Don't worry. And maybe phone numbers too. But here's the deal. They put him back on the board. He owns a place, number 2, in this park. He doesn't live here. Hadn't lived here in maybe 5 years. Now, you say, well, that's okay to do that once, if they want to do that. But it's not, because their rule book says, or our rule book says, number one, use and occupancy of the mobile home. Down here in number E, if a coach is not occupied by owner for 6 months, your lease can be terminated. You must either sell or move your mobile home out of the park. Well, I brought this up to them 5 or 6 times in writing. They ignored it. This new CEO, we think he lives there. Well, I told them I'd go by and turn his water on. It's not on. Electricity's not on. There's holes on the floor inside this place. I've seen it. And someday I'm going to tell you how he bought this place, which is even, you'll crazy die off that. But there's your makeup of what we're going against and why the people here are pissed off. Okay, now let's go into some of the things. So we're a neighborhood. We're not Google, we're not some big company. We're a neighborhood. We've been around, 30 something years? Okay. This board has made it where they've isolated the residents, the 202 coaches, to basically where they can't do anything. And what I mean by that, we have an HOA and we put out something, I'll show you, a Gazette. Look at it, it's crap, it's cheap, it's with a staple. Was getting better than that. Why? Because there's a copy machine, a nice one in the office that we always used. Well, they controlled the office and they stopped that, I guess a couple of years ago. I don't know. I wasn't around paying attention. But what happened now? Now get this. You are in a neighborhood with the same pool of money. They made before I got here, HOA president and the board go out and basically buy a new copy machine or rent it. Well, they went out and they're leasing one for $100 a month, okay? To put a rag like this out. It's not the HOA's fault. We should be able in that office, right? We're all in the same community. Nope, it's not the way it works. We have, I went through this with them. There was a big craze on solar panels. Everybody's doing it worldwide. This state, the government talks about it all the time. Please, please, please go to this. Every new build in this state requires solar panels. Okay, knowing that, I kept my eye on it because we don't own the land below us. But we do get solar panels for no cost. They changed the law and it was great for saving money. So a guy came out here and saw how much I averaged a month and told me whether I was worth it to get them or not. It was worth it, and I got them. So I have a set electric bill for the next 25 years. That's pretty good. When you're a senior, you can just look at what you got. Okay. During this time period, this board now, this same one, they saw my solar panels going in and they came over and they took pictures of the guy going up the ladder and they took pictures of them putting it on the roof and told me to, now, take this now. Take them down, get all the paperwork and send it to the office and we'll approve it. Those guys can't, I don't know if they graduated from high school, but if I send schematics in there on the solar panels, they have no idea what they're looking at, okay? So again, what was their reasoning for the stop of the solar panels? Because there was 4 others going to do it too, and we all did it. The thing was power. You're not doing it because we told you can't do it. Well, I didn't stop. And I got, God, I don't know how many letters that said cease and desist, 7-day notices, I'm getting thrown out of here. And then that deadline came, and they went to the next deadline, sent me another one, and moved to the 7-day. And then I got a 14-day notice, the next one. And then all of a sudden it went away. All of a sudden they put a memo out one time, which they ever do, and said, oh, we approve them now. Now, you got to look at it from us homeowners. We're going through this. Some of these people aren't like me. They get panicky and get scared, and it affects their health. And they don't care. I mean, I'm going to give you so many examples here of what's going on. Why you wonder why we're complaining and wonder why we need help. This is the reasons why. Okay, the HOA now, as I said, I just started this mess. So they put out a thing. I've been here, I've known for at least 25 years. A lot of these things never happened until these people came in. And it's all to hurt the people. It's nothing to improve the park. That's all crap. So they made the HOA get a tax ID. Now we're a separate company completely now. We're not even in a neighborhood anymore. Okay? So then they started evicting people. This really aggravated me. And why? Because there was no felonies committed. There was nothing. There was an old couple. The guy was at fault. He was at fault. He did stupid things. But he has a 72-year-old wife at the time. Okay? So they went to throw them out, which they were successful. They spent $100,000 of our money, which they call their money, because corporate money is not your guys' money, it's ours, to throw out 2 people. 2, okay? I could have solved this in 10 minutes. Get him in the office and say, you screw up again, we will get you. But they threw him out according to his lawyer and him, because they warned him, don't walk in they put him on probation or something. Don't walk in the clubhouse and do anything, or we're going to throw you out. He went in to get there was something going on at a function to buy like a hot dog or a hamburger, and they had him on film, and that's when they went after him. This is what they do. See, and they'll pretend like, oh no, we just trying to improve. They're not trying to improve anything, okay? They're trying to hurt people, and that's why we're fighting back. So they spent $100,000. They got another lady over here. They threw her out. I don't know how much they spent for that, but they tried to recover the money, and they sued the guy that they threw out to get their money back, and it got thrown out. That means we didn't get none of that money back. So we blew $100,000 on that, okay? And how do I know that? His lawyer showed me their bill and then said, this is what they're going to be. So it's pretty much a given what they were going to spend. Pretty close to that. Okay, so let's move forward. Just across the street from me is where these people live. I live close to all the culprits here. And in between 2 board members is a handicapped couple. Hear me? A handicapped couple. They have 2 cars, okay? One of them, they park in the driveway because it just fits. The other one, they park on the street. But right across the street from them, about 19 steps, is visitor parking. So they went to this board and said, hey, now this is according to them telling me, can we park in the visitor parking? No, you can't. You got to go to the other side of the park and park in handicap parking. Now they're handicapped, okay? Keep that. So they recommended make one of these a blue space right in front of us so we don't have to walk. Nope. Now this is what they told me. We know one of you is handicapped, but the other one we don't think is. They're trying to make the determination that that's going to happen. It had nothing to do. It's them going after a handicapped person. So what happened? You're going to believe this. The handicapped couple loved it in here. They sold their place right there and moved to a block away from these people. That's all. Just moved away because they were telling me they were getting harassed about what they're doing in their yards, or they're getting harassed. And anything they do now, they have a board member on each side of them. And boy, life was miserable. And they would get a hold of me and contact me, and I'd say, oh boy, I don't know what to tell you. And I didn't. So at the time, I wasn't on any board or anything like that. Okay, so let's move to another incident that happened here. We had a lady named Sandra Gerdine, and she died. And when she died, for years, they got a doctor's note and all this, I think, or he wouldn't be in here. Her son, Sean States, was taking care of her, okay, until she died. So he's underage. Everybody knows it. Everybody acknowledges it. So he dies. I don't think the body had cooled yet before he got an eviction notice. I'm not kidding you, people. This is the cold-blooded crap you go with here. And so he's going through this mess right now. He's trying to have an estate sale. The family's already going to move him back to Ohio. They're going to help him, but not this place. No way. No way. They're not helping anybody. The quicker they can alienate, but they've taken 2 places away from people in here and sold them for the park. So thought I'd let you know that. So, okay, that's enough for one day. I just wanted to fill you in. I got so much more, but I'm going to try to throw some positive news in here in the future if I can find any. But right now, there's a lot going on that's negative. The people don't like it. It's the only reason I'm doing this. Ken got me. So I would do these. So thanks for listening, and I'll get you on the next one. Bye.